On my last video, I made a phone call, okay? And in the phone call, it was Pi calling. I said, how are you doing, Pi? So I got a pie in the oven. I got a lot of people here ready to eat the pie. Are you going to put your thumb in the pie? But Pi continues on and on forever because I got pies in the oven, and earth is life and life is living, and I got a phone call. And you have received the phone call, so the end of the dialing and the ringing, the phone call ended, part of Pi. You answered the phone, you said hello, now you almost know who it is you're talking, another piece of Pi. You go through a long conversation talking about this, that, and the other thing, and then the phone call ends, and Pi ends. So everything that can happen in the continuation of Pi will repeat itself in a different context, at a different period of time, in a different area space. As the world turns, am I still sitting in the area space that is I began the day in? Am I still sitting? If I take a 5-foot area, okay, will I be in this 5-foot area space on this planet, in this solar system, in this universe, forever? What is the answer? No, of course not. We're constantly moving. But the area space of energy is always passing. But I'm still occupying an area space in the totality of the system we live. Air pockets. I fulfill an air pocket. We go up the mountain, we create an air pocket in our ear, and our ear hurts. Now we're going to get on to number 2, the continuation and the end of Pi. Started the conversation, the phone call ended, we hung up, Pi is over. What went on through that conversation, well, that's the Pi. That's why Pi is consistent of 3 numbers and 0. 0 might be you talking, then I'm talking, both talking at the same time, I don't know. Maybe an energy of transporting those pieces. I talk, did you hear me right away? If I start to say a word and I slow it down to 10%, you won't hear the whole word right away. So anyways, I want to finish off what I started in my last video, and it has to do with the days, the weeks, the years, and there's more to it than just this, because there's 1,440 minutes in a day, right? There is, just give me a second. Now, what I want to say is that we continuously link. We link even into the year 2000, okay? We link to the year 2000. The year 5760 is the Hebrew time, to the minutes of the day, to the days of the week, to the cycle of days and weeks and months and years, and the cycle of years into centuries, into the golden age, into the silver anniversary, into all these expressions of time that everything links, because we have to have some kind of compassion into the matrix in order to show the love that everything is working. Just like when you talk to Hey Google or any of these other systems, they need to hear these words. They need to know in order to sustain life or to put life on a new path, certain things have to change. And it's all computerized because this whole entity is computerized through the element of the atom, okay, or the recreation of the atom. And this is what I wanted to show you, is that 4 times 1,440 minutes in a day equals to 5760, right? You can also take 24 minutes, okay, equals this in seconds. 24 minutes, I didn't think of that. 24 minutes equals to 1,440 seconds. Let me get that right. 10 minutes is 600, right. So 1,440 seconds in 24 minutes times 2 equals to 2880, which equals to 48 minutes. And 12 minutes, because that's the remainder in the 60 minutes, times 60 equals to 720. Let me see. Okay, the 24 minutes, 1440 seconds, in 48 minutes, or the basketball game, we have connected the linking skies because of what 720 says. 720 says the half day, we have the linking skies. 288 talking about the beta world. When 2 is here, it's talking about two sides. When 1 is here, it's talking about the center of two sides. And we have 720 connecting when a big red sun. 20 world, 27, 70, whatever you want to call. Anytime you have a 0, you have a 6. You have a 369 with a 0 if you want, but it all relates to 6. Okay? The center of everything, where the 1 key fits in the 5 hole of the E world, the 1 dot in the center, where the number 5 is in the center, but it's only 1 dot of 8, surrounded by 8, totality of 9 in a square. To where the last 12 minutes of the day is 720, is a total of 360 degrees. We spin 360 degrees in 1 minute, 60 by 60. We have 3 days, talking about Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, equaling to 4320, and 3 days equaling to 4320. I'm talking minutes now. 4320 is our vibration. It's like our jail. But the totality of the 6 days equals to 8640, or 86,400 seconds in a day. Where the 1 day that's missing is the 1440. And don't forget, if there's a collar or a dog loop, or even if we're knotted together at both ends. If we're knotted together at both ends, and we don't have an extra link like we do, like a cap that links two sides together. Do you know what I'm saying? A cap that links two sides together. You can think this is one continuous pen if I hold it like this. Or is it a rope that's twisted together? And if it was a rope that twists together, or overlaps like this with a pin in it, that makes your weekend, your Saturday and your Sunday. You see the way they're over each other? Or maybe they're like this to make it more steady. So these two are your weekends. But if we're going around all the time and we're tied, and you say 8 days a week because we're going actually in the same area of space for 2 days of the week. Well, the cord, you know the number 8 that goes like this? Because we're tied up in a knot. Maybe we're all tied in knots. And it's knotted all the time. And the only reason it's knotted all the time is because when you go this way, you read, and then you go back that way. So when you knot everything in the matrix system that we might live, the added on system, we're actually going forward. We work our way backwards, so they already read what's going on, and now we continue back to tomorrow. We live tomorrow, come back to today, and then go forward. So the matrix, or the element of thought that's coming into this world, has already come in, but we haven't received it yet. But the system in this world has received it. Then it goes back to yesterday, which is today for us, and then goes forward into tomorrow, which already happened yesterday. Do you follow what I'm saying? The information comes into the office, the secretary sees it, you haven't seen it yet. This information doesn't matter where it comes from. So the secretary saw it all, she gives it to you tomorrow, what she's already seen today. Because she has all the information and because you have nothing, you're dealing in consequence of what you just got, and the secretary is dealing in consequence of what she already had. So as you're trying to do whatever you're trying to do right now, the secretary is one step ahead of you, except for what your next move is. She already knows what you saw. She already knows how you think. And because she saw the information the day before, whatever you're trying to do, she's doing something underneath you. And that's the knotted effect of the DNA. So now as we go on to time, I'm getting to where I finished off. This is how this links up. I'm not going to do the weekends where the minutes are in the weekend. 2288 connects the sky. 5760 is the Hebrew leap year, okay, which means we link on the 4th day, the year 2000. Now what I'm going to do is the 3 years, right? I'm not going to do the seasons right now because I'm going to work this into seasons next, right? Because in this year there's 4 seasons, okay? 4 seasons of 91.25 days. In this year there's 4 seasons of 91.5 days. 1.25, 1.5. Memory of Mars, memory of Mars. So we're going to start it out by going these 3 over here and then 1. In this 3 over here, in these 3 years, okay, we get 900 days, 180 days, and 15 days. Okay? Then it happens again, then it happens again. In the one leap year, we get this. So in the second part of the cycle, right? In the second part of the cycle, okay, here, we have 1,800, 360, and 30 that have passed. Okay, 360. That's a complete circle, but this one's only at a half circle, and this one's only at a half minute. The one dot in the middle of 8. Now we must add this onto this, because before we can go from 9 to 18, this 366 has to happen. So now I'm going to pause the tape and show you what that looks like. But first let me explain the whole thing first, then I'm going to add in the leap years to join everything. Okay, when I go to the next level from 18 to 27, I now get 2,700, or 3/4 of the year. 540 is the number to the sun, or a year and a half, or 45, which is not a full hour yet. Into the next cycle of 3,600, where I now make one rotation of 1/2 rotation of the number of minutes in a day. So we're almost complete right over here. We're showing half. Okay. Now when I go to the just using the leap years. Okay, I'm going to show you the leap years next. And the leap years is over here. When you get the first leap year, it's 300 days. When you get the second leap year, it's 600 days. 600 days. And then the 300, I separate the differences. 100 is the 10 sections and the 1. I get 600, 120, and 12. 120 can also reflect 2 minutes, as this can reflect 3 minutes. This can reflect 2 minutes, and 360 creates 6 minutes. 6 minutes times 10, 60 minutes in the hour. This one over here, okay, can create 12 minutes. Okay, 12 minutes at 6. Okay, equals to 720, and that's 1/4 of the basketball game. I must take sports, I must take games, I must take all actualities that are happening and see what they mean. So I'm going back to here with the 365 days, or 4 seasons of memory. Okay, memory, seasons in the sun, right? Songs, people who sang the songs. And also we have to understand what it means. 7 times 2 is 14. 7 plus 2 equals 9. 9 and 14, it's also an equation that will fit into pi, 3.1415. And that's because 3 times 5 is 15. 3 plus 5 is 8. 8 and 9 are a link in letters. Okay, they create 17 the gateway. 8 by 9 is 72. So now we have 14, we have 9 and 14, and we have 8 and 15. 8 and 15, 23, 9 and 14, 23. 55. 55 is our freedom. So now we get into the third part of the leap year, and we connect it here. The third part of the leap year and the first. We reverse it 3 leap years to 1 now. We get the golden rule, because 15 and 18 is 33. The O letter, the R letter, OR says gold. 1 and 1 is 2, 8 and 5 is 13, creates 4. 2 and 4, the cat's rule. Okay. The reverse of R is I, the reverse of O is L, saying Roi, king, oil, law. So, now we get into the last part of the leap year. 1200 is 4 leap years. Remember, if the cycle's 313, we're going to go 313 and continue to 4 leap years. By 4 leap years, we have a continuation of a sequence, which creates 1200, which creates 240, and 24 hours a day in the 240 hours of the Mayan cycle, of half a day. Raphael, 7286 in a constellation of Pegasus, and 45 minutes of uninterrupted, off the top of my head, video 724, 365, and we're probably not even half done. Thank you for watching this video.